My name is Michelle. Welcome to your recovery yoga practice. Today we're going to be doing a short energizing practice. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position, whether that's in a chair with your feet flat or on a bolster, on the floor, on a blanket or pillow. Let your knees and your hips be somewhere equal, or even have your knees slightly lower than your hips, putting your spine in a nice, neutral, natural alignment. As we begin with our first 5 movements, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Deep breath in and a long breath out. When you're ready, lean forward. Let your body shift and then circle back. Begin to circle the upper body around the hips. And know that if your legs crossed isn't comfortable for you, you can always straighten the legs out and continue. And know that as you're breathing and moving, if your body is telling you that the circles need to be bigger or smaller, you get to choose to listen to that soft, intuitive voice, the whisper of your body, so it doesn't have to scream. This is your practice. And then when you're ready, slow the movement and go the other way. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice if you're gripping in your shoulders. And as you come back and pause, soften. Be still. Breathe in. Breathe out. The next breath, let the chest reach forward, the back arch and the chin lift. Pulling the belly button to the spine as you round the back and drop the chin towards your chest. Inhale forward. Exhale back. If you want to deepen this movement, to move the spine, to contract and lengthen the muscles, you can even round the shoulders forward, separating the shoulder blades. And then as you arch the back, reach the heart, you can bring the shoulder blades closer to the spine. Creating this big movement, this arch and curl seated. And then once again, come back. Take a moment to pause. Deep breath in, long breath out. The next movement is a twist. Fingers forward on the shoulders if this is uncomfortable. Find cactus arms or hands on the waist. You decide what feels right for you. Take a deep breath in, crown of the head lifts to the sky, spine gets long, and then you twist to the side. Let the breath switch and then come back to center, and switching the breath again, moving to the other side. Breathe and move. Mantra. If your mind has wandered somewhere other than the room you're in and the mat that you're on or the chair you're in, find the words, be still. And even though your body is physically moving, the words be still is the offer to the mind, the mental chatter, and the emotional chaos to be still. Come to center. Release the hands. Inhale, be. Exhale, still. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers and lengthen a little bit more if that feels good for you. If you want to look up, do that. Then bring the hands behind the head. Chin level, elbows wide, heart open. If hands behind the head isn't comfortable for any reason, fingertips to the shoulders or even hands back to the waist. Drop an elbow towards the floor as you fold to the side. Heart stays open. Elbows stay wide, preventing a collapsing forward in the body. Engaging the side body muscles as you fold, contracting and lengthening from side to side. Silently or out loud, if you're at home and you want to use this mantra out loud, be still. Staying present in the moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Come back to center, release the hands. Bringing the first finger and the second finger together, Gyan Mudra. Release an ear to the shoulder. Gently lift the head and release the ear to the other shoulder. Notice if you are gripping through the shoulders, if your shoulders are reaching to your ears rather than your head dropping to your shoulder. Is there room to let go? Head to center, chin to chest, thinking about the word compassion and what it means to you. Lift the chin to the sky. Compassion, an opportunity to respond with warmth and care. Maybe for you it's an opportunity to respond with something else. As long as it's affirmative, as long as it's positive and caring, you can use whatever it is for you that it sounds like. Maybe it's gentle and kind. It's compassion. Let the chin rest on the chest and then move the chin along the chest to one shoulder. Come back through center to the other side. Moving from side to side. Head to center, gently lift up. Take the deepest breath in through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale with a big sigh. It just feels good to move that throat chakra. Wiggle your fingers and circle your wrists. Go the other way. Flex and point. And then flick your fingers. These movements for the hands and the wrists come from the Himalayan Institute from a book called Joints and Glands. It's important to work the joints and glands because it lets the small parts stay healthy and then the bigger parts work better. Shake it out. Flop it out. Have a little fun and don't be afraid to smile. Wonderful saying that I heard one time says, if you're having a good time, don't be afraid to inform your face. So smile. Have fun. All right, we're going to come onto our hands and knees now. So if you have a bolster or a pillow or a blanket, let it go. Find your way onto your hands and knees. Now, if being on a mat or on your floor, or on your carpet or whatever it is, if that's not comfortable for you, put a blanket under your knees. That is a wonderful way to protect the knees. I'm on these really great mats called zebra mats. I love them. It provides that extra padding. And don't be afraid to get a blanket or whatever you need. If being on your hands is a little bit too much, you can always be on your elbows, and you can also stack your fists. So those are some different options to choose. Letting the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders be somewhere in alignment. If that's too much, you can bring your hands just a little bit further forward. Sometimes that takes a little bit of the pressure off. Let there be a little bend in your knees so we're not locking those joints. Begin to pull the belly button to the spine, round the back, and drop the head. Drawing back the other direction, rolling the pelvis as though the tailbone's reaching up. The heart leads forward. The head lifts, but only as far as the spine stays in alignment with the neck. Cat and cow. Pull the belly button to the spine. Release the head. Round. Roll the other direction. Move at a pace with your breath that works for you. Start to wake yourself up a little bit. Even If you want to get the shoulders involved a little bit, you can. Let the heart lead. Let the hips release. Now begin to move the hips around a little bit. Again, we want to energize ourselves, give ourselves a little freedom to move around. There's this wonderful movement that I'm doing called marauding bear. I like to think of a bear that wakes up in the spring and needs to stretch every inch of their body. So do that. Even move your legs around. Just wake yourself up. Don't be afraid to move in a way that feels good. Don't be afraid to explore freedom of movement. Don't be afraid to color outside the lines, right? Just have fun. Smile. Come back to that tabletop place. Tuck your toes underneath at this point. We're going to do a little stretching through those toes area. That can get kind of tight in there. So rock yourself back towards child's pose. Put a little bend in the elbows. And then reach back forward, belly releasing, heart leading cow. Round the back. Pull the belly button to the spine, drop the head. Coming back towards child's pose, and notice as your toes are tucked, you're probably really feeling that a little bit. Releasing those muscles through the feet. Reach up. Continuing this movement, this is a variation of Chakravakasana, one of my favorite moving meditations. Keep moving, keep breathing. Be still. And the idea of still moving physically, but mentally and emotionally, finding stillness, mindfulness, inward peace. Don't worry about which direction your breath is moving. Just breathe and move. And the next time you come into a rounded back, lift your legs up into what we like to call a lazy downward facing dog. Mine's a really lazy downward facing dog because the cord on my microphone is only letting me go so far. So it's a really lazy downward facing dog. And then come back down onto your hands and knees. Reach forward with your heart. Round your back, keeping the toes tucked underneath so you can feel that stretch. Come back up. Heart leads. Round. Lazy downward facing dog. Come back onto your hands and knees. Reach forward. Round back. Reach forward. Downward facing dog. Don't worry about how the downward facing dog looks if it feels good. Knees back down, heart forward. Round the back. Down. Keep moving, keep breathing. And if you notice, I might not be doing the exact same thing each and every time. My knees come down, my heart reach forward. I'm going to wiggle around a little bit. Move my arms, shake them out. But I'm going to keep moving. Maybe even pick up the pace a little bit. Get a little bit of energy moving. Reach forward. Reach back. Reach forward. Lift up. Doesn't matter, but just keep moving. Keep reaching. Keep lifting. Right? Have fun. So many times we get hung up on making sure we're doing it exactly right. There is no right. There is no wrong. As long as it feels good, keep doing it. And then come back down. Turn your toes shoelace side down. Child's pose. Pause. Forehead to the mat. Your knees can be out as wide as your mat. If your forehead doesn't comfortably meet your mat, you can stack your fists or use your bolster. Whatever works. Pause here. Child's pose is the pose of surrender. And so often we think of surrender as giving up. We think of surrender as a word that means weakness. It is not. In recovery, surrender is one of the most powerful words that we have because it is the idea of letting go. Letting go of the gripping and holding, the fighting, and allowing yourself to flow as though you're floating down a river in the current. Compassion, warmth, and care. Come forward. Come seated. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Now your feet might come way in close, or they might be way out here today. Think of this as a diamond. You get to make your diamond whatever shape it is that works for you. With the feet together, butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. I like to say the fancy word because it's pretty. Baddha Konasana, butterflies are one of the wonderfulest, most beautiful representations of recovery. Because when you think about it, it's a caterpillar crawling on the floor, on the ground, through the mud and the muck. And it goes into this little chrysalis, this little cocoon. And then when it spends some time in there and then it comes out and it's a butterfly, it's transformed itself completely. Begin to bounce your legs just a little bit up and down. Not a lot, it's not a big movement. Just bounce them up and down. So this is the same with us in recovery. We become completely transformed. I know for myself, I am a full 180 from the person that I was when I went into treatment. And it took me a long time after treatment to get there. But it was the beginning stages of coming from that person, that human that was crawling in the muck and the mire on the ground, in the addiction, in the disease, to be on this side of things. So lift the crown of the head up and fold forward. Lift up. Spread your legs as wide apart as it feels good for you. Take a deep breath in and walk yourself forward. Notice where you are today and let it be enough. Maybe your fold is right here. Let that be. Let that be exactly what it is, with a need for it to be no more. Breathe. Be still. Slowly walk over to the other side and be here. Return back to the center. Notice that the center is where the spine is. The spine is the central hub of you. A healthy spine is a healthy you. Not just physically, but energetically. Walk to the other side. Come back to center. Lift up. Take your right leg and tuck it inside the thigh of your left. Let your left arm begin to slide down the left leg and let the right arm lift up. Lengthen. Breathe. Find the stillness here. Be aware of the mental chatter and let that be okay. You notice it and you let it go. Like a cloud on a summer day. It comes in and it goes out. Gently lift up. Now bring your hand behind you and lift up. And come back down. Left arm out, right arm over. Lifting and moving. Let this flow. Find a little pace with this. Let this energize you. Let this move you. Let this create some space. We're really moving through the torso here to create this movement, to create a breath that moves. So even while the physical body is moving, you find an inner stillness, an inner calm. Let's do 2 more of these. Lifting up, reaching up. All right, maybe 1 more, because it feels good. And pause, breathe. Lift back up to center. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Maybe do a little bounce. Remind yourself of the butterfly, the beauty and the grace inside of you. Switch sides. Deep breath, crown of the head. Notice that I keep reminding you of your breath. So often we forget to breathe. Right arm, right leg, lift up with the left arm. Reach behind you. Lift up. And come back down. Lengthening, contracting, breathing and moving. Where is the compassion in these movements for you? The kindness for you? Letting go of the need to judge or shame. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Pick up the pace as it feels right for you. Maybe notice that your breath gets a little bit heavier. Maybe notice that you're feeling some muscles firing up. Maybe notice that you're not liking me so much right now. That's all right. Just keep moving. 2 more. Breathe and move. Pause. Lift back up. Bottoms of the feet together. One last time here. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Bring the legs out long in front of you. Maybe even move some of the fleshy area away from the bum so you can feel what we call the sit bones, the sits bones on your mat on the floor. Slowly bend the right leg and set that right foot over the top of the left one. Take your right arm, your right hand, and place it gently behind the right hip. And then that left hand's going to go on the right knee. Be sure to lift and lengthen. Then we're going to begin to twist through the rib cage here and look over the right shoulder. If it's all right in your body, you can wrap the knee, the elbow around the knee. Or maybe your elbow is going to go on the knee. I'm not really quite there today. I'm going to stay with my elbow. Notice if you start to slouch down. The professional, official Sanskrit name for that is Slouchasana. Lift up. Keep your head twisting. If it's not comfortable for the neck, keep the neck forward, but yet still twist through the shoulder and the ribs. Breathe. Come back to center. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Release the leg and bounce it up and down. Side to side. Switch sides. Now, we know where we're going. Be mindful that you take time to find the foundation in this pose before you rush into it. So many times, even in our life of recovery, we rush into things. Oh, I've got it. I said that. I said, I've got it. And then I drank for another 2 years before I got sober. Taking now your right hand and on your left knee. Take time to lift up. I've got my foundation. I can lift the crown of my head. My spine gets longer with that inhale. I twist. My elbow can comfortably come to my knee, and I can still lift up and twist. Maybe my elbow, no, not my elbow today. I'm going to stay right here. Once I have a foundation, I can explore the rest of the pose and see where I'm at today. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, maybe you can twist a little bit more. Maybe not. Inhale. Exhale, release the arm, release the leg. And again, bouncing it out. Reach up, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Plant your feet on the ground. Put your hands behind your thighs, and as you begin to lean back, think about the third chakra right here. There's an energy center, a spinning wheel of light right around behind the belly button. And it generates energy, courage, strength, fire. We're going to build that fire up a little bit right here. So as you lean back, letting your hands and your arms support you, let the fire in the belly move in, and be careful and be mindful that your back is at ease here. The belly is what's supporting you. If your back is hurting, ease off. If you feel good here, lift your arms. Make sure you're breathing. If that feels good, you can lift your feet. This is called boat pose. Woo! Fire in the belly. Maybe this is too much. You keep your feet on the ground. Maybe right here was exactly where you needed to be. Maybe you want to just lift your feet. Keep your hands here. You choose the boat pose of your making today. Mindful of that back. We don't want to injure the back. Healthy back, healthy you. Stay here. Breathe. Fire. Create. Build. Courage. Strength. Woo, I'm shaking. And release. Whew. I think that was the Minnesota in me. Oofta. Let yourself come laying on your back. All right. All right. Hard stuff's done. We're on our way down. Let your arms rest. Let your shoulders soften. Let your feet be flat and your knees bent. We're going to do a little bit of arch and flatten as we start to wind down. Take a moment first to notice from the crown of the head to the neck and the shoulders. Neck to the belly. Belly to the hips. Hips to the feet. Notice what you notice. Be still. Tailbone lightly moving into the earth as the belly button lifts up and the lower back arches. Draw the other direction. Flattening the lower back as the belly button pulls to the spine. Roll back and forth. And this gentle arch and flatten. Be still. Cultivating stillness on the inside. Release and pause. feel your feet on the earth. There may be a mat and carpet or wood flooring or concrete and a whole lot of stuff between you and the earth, but feel your feet on the earth. Imagine that. Press down and lift up. And lower. Press the feet down and lift the hips. Bridge pose. Doing 2 more of those, pushing the feet into the earth and lifting the hips. A little stabilization. Rooting and grounding and lifting and connecting. And then pause. Lift your right leg up, cross it over your left leg. Lift your hips. About 1, maybe 2 inches. Set your hips back down to the left. And then drop your knees, both knees, to the right. Let your arms be wherever it feels comfortable for you, out by your side, at whatever distance feels good, and turn your head to the left. If it feels okay, close your eyes. Where can you soften into this twist? Where can you let go? Gently begin to unwrap the legs, come back to center, head to center, bring the hips back to center, let the spine line up, and then lift that left leg, cross it over the right. Again, lifting the hips slightly, 1 inch or so over to the right, and then drop the knees to the left. If it feels good for your neck, turn the head to the right. If it doesn't feel right for your neck to move into this twist, don't do it. Notice any differences on this side from the other. Notice where you grip and hold and where you might be able to breathe and let go. Unwind the legs. Bring them back to center. Head to center. Hips to center. Moving your hips around. And Shavasana. Corpse pose. Maybe it's allowing your legs to go out long. Maybe you want to keep them bent, letting the feet come wider and the knees drop in. Maybe you want to roll on your side or onto your belly. Wherever it will be that your body can physically be still, at ease, in the most comfortable way. As I've said before, and you'll hear me say 1,000,000 times, Shavasana, in my opinion, is the most important pose in any yoga class. It's the time of integration. It's the time of listening. Listening to the spiritual aspect of you, listening to the divine music of the universe. When the physical body rests, we give the mental chatter a chance to slow down, using mantra like "be still." And the emotional chaos pauses. Imagine your emotions and the mental chaos and mental chatter become like the waves at your favorite lake or the ocean on a day where those waves are so small and so gentle onto that beach. And we lie here silently, breathing in and breathing out. Beginning to deepen your breath. Wiggle your jaw and your tongue, shoulders and fingers. Hips, legs and feet. Observe yourself here. Any little shifts. Any little transformations. Changes in perception. Change begins with the smallest shift. You have a choice of staying on your back, curling to your side, or coming to your side and gently pushing yourself up to a seated position for our closing prayer. Choose what honors you today. Wherever you are, allow your hands to find your heart center, the home of love. As we ask together, the moments of this day and every day come to us with ease and joy, trust and truth. Bringing the hands to the forehead as we ask that our thoughts be filled with acceptance for ourselves and others. Hands to the mouth. May the words we speak this day be compassionate and kind. Hands home to the heart. May all of our actions come forth with love. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing today.